We'll go ahead and get started. Questions for head coach GM Derek Fisher, Chris Camello, Nightcast Media.
Evening, Coach. Obviously a tough one tonight. I have a two-part question. Was tonight's game a reminder of just how thin the margin for error is as you guys try to make a push to the playoffs? And two, with it being 824 Mamba Day, how cool was it to see your players wear 824 shirts in memory of your friend and former teammate Kobe Bryant?
Yeah, I'll start with the Kobe question first. I think it's, it's meaningful to, the entire basketball world and really kind of the greater, world at large. Like, he impacted so many people's lives and, even as close as we were, it was hard to, I think, fully appreciate it. Unfortunately, until after he was gone. Like I just really, sometimes see your own brother or your own family in a certain way. And the way we've reacted to his loss or his absence, I think has been moving and inspiring and aspirational for so many people. So, I think our players are right to, honor and celebrate someone that did so much for their sport. And, he, his daughter, his family, continuing to create opportunities for young girls and women. And, those are things that we should all be doing. To the first question, I don't know if we, needed, I guess, a reminder about how, in terms of the margin for error just in this league overall, like that's just a part of it. And, in a shorter season, you're going to have a more tight and compact race for, playoff spots. And, so I don't think that's really new to, most of our players. I'm probably the one, adjusting to it still more than them. But I think it was more a reminder for us of, the margin for error in any game, but in particular on the road, is really small, and you can't start the game poorly the way we did tonight. And so, Washington, they jumped out. They were the more, I think, ready team, the more prepared team, and they really took control of the game right out of the gate.
Rashawn Haylock with Spectrum.
Hey, Coach. You
Rashawn.
just talked about the start. What were some things that jumped out to you on both ends about the way you started tonight?
I'll start offensively first in terms of we had some looks that we didn't convert. And I think we got a little discouraged because the ball didn't go in a few times early on. And so we couldn't find a way to get comfortable offensively. But that happens sometimes, through the course of a game and through the course of a season. I'd say probably in particular on the road. But I think what was more, kind of frustrating and disappointing was our start on the defensive end. And, we weren't touching people at all. We weren't, we didn't play the type of defense that we need to play against a good team like Washington. So that's really where the game got away from us. If you're going to allow a team to, to feel comfortable enough to score 28 points in 2 quarters, you're going to have a tough time winning. So that's really more the anchor of who we are in terms of, our defense. And, we didn't bring that from the start tonight.
David Yapkowitz, Next Hoops.
Hey, Coach. Despite that loss and how you started, the bench was able to kind of make the score a little bit more respectable there in the fourth quarter with some energy. Just did you see anything out of that group, towards the end of the game that you liked? And, is that something, that can you take any solace in the fact, that they came in and brought some energy, even though it was, a little bit too late?
Yeah, no, I think for our players that came off the bench tonight, and we have some young players in that group that sometimes don't get as many minutes, and so I thought it was a great opportunity for them to get out and compete, and they did a good job. We we continue to play and try and work our way back into this game, like irrespective of the score. And, we talked about that at halftime that, we have to keep working and building the right habits, and trust the process and the journey. And, we had to try and disconnect from the score at the half. So, that group deserves a lot of credit for continuing to play. They got to the free throw line, which always helps. And, I'm still confused. Which you saw me get a technical foul tonight. I have no idea why Nneka Ogwumike cannot get to the free throw line. And I wanted to say a more aggressive word than that, but just in case my kids are watching or other kids are watching or listening, I won't say it. It's just disrespectful at this point that it continues to happen. That's just the way I'm gonna say it. Like she played almost 200 minutes and can't get to the free throw line. Like 5 free throws and I feel like 170 minutes almost. For a player of her caliber that plays as aggressively as she plays on the offensive end, that's not happening to other good players around the league. It's just not. So it's just excuses at this point that she can't get there. But has nothing to do with us not playing defense. But there's no question that it impacts the way a game flows when your best players can't get to the free throw line.
Time for one more with Coach Miriam Swanson, LA Daily News.
Hey, Derek. Yeah, you sort of answered my question about the tech. I guess what is your message to the team like after this one? Like, how do you guys kind of go forward?
Yeah, no, we just have to continue to do the work. Like whether you win or lose the game, you have to let that one go and start preparing yourself mentally and physically for the next one. We can't get this one back at this point. But I think the message, for the most part, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, is, on the road, you can't start as though you don't want the game more than your opponent. It's just not a recipe for success. So we just have to find a way by the time the game starts Thursday night to, get off to a better start, make sure that our opponent knows that, we came to play a strong and disciplined game, and they're going to have to compete all the way to the very end in order to beat us. And, hopefully that's something we can find a way to do over the next, 44 hours or so.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Questions for Nia Coffey. We'll start with Chris Camello, Nightcast Media.
Hey, Nia, obviously a tough loss tonight, but you played well, especially in the second half, coming up off the bench. So yeah, just kind of a reaction to your performance tonight as you continue to readjust to a bench role. And 2, was this game a reminder that, the margin for error is thin on this road trip as well as for the rest of the season?
Yes. So regardless of the situation, I was just trying to play hard on both sides and just be aggressive. And then, yeah, it is a reminder that we always have to come out strong and be ready to go, especially when we're on the road.
Rashawn Haylock, Spectrum.
Hey, Nia, what do you think contributed to the slow start tonight from your vantage point?
We could have just, come out a lot more aggressive on both sides and just stick to us. I think we kind of let them get us out of our rhythm, and we're just playing catch up. So just staying true to us and focusing on what we need to do.
David Yapkowitz, Next Hoops.
Hey, Nia. You guys have another game Thursday night against Connecticut. Does it kind of help at all knowing that, you got to get ready for that game right away so that you can kind of just wash away, what happened tonight? Do you guys see that as, hey, we've got another opportunity to come out better on Thursday?
Yeah, so of course, learn from tonight and just keep moving forward. I mean, that's literally all we can do, and just start focusing on how we can be better and just how to just be ready for next game.
Rashawn, did you have a follow-up?
Yeah, Nia. What as far as the way you talked about just going in there and just continuing to play hard. What did you guys kind of show in that second half yourself? And also, what did you think about Arella's play tonight as well?
I mean, we had nothing to lose at that point. So we were just going out there and just literally playing our best on defense, on offense, just leaving it all on the court. I mean, that's our only option at that point. I thought Arella did amazing coming in and, you know, on defense, on offense, like just being ready when her name was called, and she showed that tonight. So I thought that whole second group, we did a really good job of just keeping our composure and just working together.
Last question for Nia. Miriam Swanson, LA Daily News.
Hey, Nia. Coach Fisher was saying that sort of like, I guess at halftime you guys had to separate yourselves from the score. Was that sort of the message at halftime? And like, how do you guys go about that?
Yeah, one of our goals was to win the second half, and we did do that. And at that point, like, you just have to go out and play, focus on like one possession at a time, focus on what play we're running, how they're guarding us, just reading that on that side, rebounding, then making sure that we're getting back on defense, we're being aggressive at the point of attack, like all that stuff. And then once you're playing like that, once we got back into like how we normally would play, like the score was taking care of itself. So, I mean, it's hard because you always like look at the score and you want to try to whatever, focus on that. But at this point, we just literally had to focus on one possession at a time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nia.
Thank you.
All right, questions for Arella Garantes. Rashawn Haylock with Spectrum.
Hey, Arella. Which strides do you feel like you made tonight individually?
I think I was just being aggressive, which kind of just opened the floor a lot for some great runs that we had and changing momentum. I think just coming off the bench, being an energizing bunny, and just playing basketball, really. That's the stride I made, was just kind of letting go of fears and letting go of just expectations of me, and just really just going out there and just playing to win.
How did that feel, and how do you think that can help you going forward?
Honestly, it felt great. It felt great because I can just see like my teammates feeding off of that, and it was just like times where I would be out of it for a second or tired, and just seeing their momentum pick up from my previous momentum, and then like it's just bouncing off of each other. Honestly, it just really felt good, just playing free and just playing to win.
Chris Camello, Nightcast Media.
Hey, Arella. Obviously a tough night, but you were actually able to get out there. So what was to get that extended time? How important was it, if nothing else, just to kind of shake off the rust? And also, talk about how this road trip is definitely a thin. Was this game in particular showing on this type of road trip that there is a thin margin for error, that you have to come out and play hard every single night? Was it a reminder of that?
Absolutely. It's hard to win on the road, and we understand that we have to be together at our best when we are on the road, because most of the time it's just us and we don't have the fans cheering for us and building off their momentum. So like it's important to start, but it's basketball. Everyone has their runs, and everyone is not going to be perfect every night. So it's like my job was to really just come off and bring that spark, really. And I think it shows, like the coaches and my team, that even though like I'm not out there all the time, I'm still staying ready and I'm doing my part so that when I do get my time, or coach needs me, and my team needs me, that I'm there to pick them up.
David Yapkowitz, Next Hoops.
Hey, Arella. Just what did you see out there in the fourth quarter from the bench group there? You guys were able to kind of cut into that, make the score a little bit more respectable. Just what kind of positive things can you take away from the energy you brought in the fourth there? What can that do going forward? Knowing that your bench is kind of, you there, Nia, Taya, and now Shanae back. Strengthening that bench. Just what can you take away too going into?
I think our conversation after halftime was, we have to work on our chemistry too. No matter what happens, no matter what the first group is doing, we have to make sure we come in and we show that spark, regardless of the score, regardless of how everything's going. And I think our big thing during that fourth quarter was just unity. We didn't even pay attention to the score. I looked up at the end of the game and I was like, oh crap, we're down by 10. Like, we were just playing as hard as we could and, leaving nothing left on the floor.
Thanks, Arella.
Thank you.
Questions for Chinea Gumake. We'll start with Rashawn Haylock with Spectrum.
Hey, Chene.
What up, Rashawn?
Not much. Just wondering, quick turnaround from Sunday, wondering how you're feeling physically.
Oh, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling all right. Still, it's a big adjustment going, like I said last time, going like your practices are your games per se. But nonetheless, I'm just happy to be available for the team in however way. So I think that I feel good, getting my legs back, which is nice. And I'm excited. I mean, this road trip is still a huge opportunity for us. And we've done a lot of good things the last few weeks. Now we have more improvements, but nonetheless, I don't think this team gets, their head down. We just learn and look forward to the next opportunity.
As one of the vets, sort of what's the message, after one like this?
And y'all, please excuse me. I'm gonna put my earrings on while we're talking because I tend to forget all my jewelry and never wear them until the next game. So I'm trying to be better with that because my parents gave me my jewelry. So, and it was nice. My dad and my little sister were at the game today. As a vet, I think, just holding ourselves accountable for making the right play and making, our lives easier. I think we play hard. It's now about, figuring out how to play smarter together collectively as a unit. And so, we have great leadership. We have Christy, we have NECA, we have Wheezy, and even myself as a vet. I just think that leaning on the wisdom of Coach Fisher and our vets, we have a depth of knowledge. And now I think it's just putting it all together to piece together wins again. So I love our team. I love our vets. I love our young players. I just think that tonight was just, Coach Tar would say, Coach Tar, you guys know, some days you're the dog and some days you're the hydrant. And sometimes, people come out with the punch. And I think we just have to learn. We have to learn from this game and just look forward to how we can improve on the next.
Miriam Swanson, LA Daily News.
Hey, Miriam.
Hey, girl. Yeah, I want to see your earrings.
First, I got my necklace. Okay, so baby steps.
Hey, okay. So speaking of family, how come NECA can't get a call?
So, I already got a reason I got my flagrant was because I've done, it feels like all this season I've watching, just trying to be ready for this team and coming back and watching what she has to go through on a night to night basis. Everyone knows the context of what we've experienced over the course of the last few months and the summer. And to see that it in some ways carries over to the league that she literally gives her heart, soul, blood, sweat, and tears to, there has to be more respect put on her. And I know I'm her sister, but that also means that I watch everything that she does. And it just is not fair, the position she's put in a lot of times. You see it on one end, how the game is being played. And then on our other end, it's our challenge to fight for that same type of intensity. But then, it just is a different it feels like a different ball game at times. I think everyone is doing the best jobs that they can. I just think people tend to, it just is, it's just really hard to every day wake up and know that like things just, sometimes that regards will not bounce your way. And we just are taught to persevere, but like, look at me, now my necklace is stuck on my braid. I'm just trying not to lose my money again, but like, I just hope that things get better because she deserves that. She definitely deserves that. I think she's only shot 3 foul shots in the, I don't know how many games she's been back. And let me tell you, she's strong and she will look unbothered, but it's not easy to be constantly put in that position and constantly feel like, dang, the world can like, at times can be against you. So, but like, look, let me tell you, big sis, I have not met anyone stronger, so I love her to death. I'm a fight for her and with her all day. That's why I'm here, to have her back. And I think our team has her back. Coach Fisher has her back. And we trust that good things will come when you do things the right way. Let's just not wait forever for them, please. Hopefully I didn't lose my money over that again.
David Yapkowitz, next hoops.
Hey, Shanae. Just want to ask you a little bit about the bench there. You've been part of that group since you've come back, and they really showed a lot of energy there in the fourth quarter, to cut into that big lead. Just how do you see the bench shaping up as, we go into the stretch of the season here, especially with, players like Nia, Taya, they were starters early in the year, having kind of a defined role like that now off the bench?
Yeah, I think, that's been one of the blessings. Like a lot of us have gotten opportunities over the course of the season based on the situations that our roster has presented. My sister and I being out for an extended amount of time, us losing Jazz really early. And so I think that shows now, like that experience. And I think also some nights, like, our vets, our starters have played hard consistently and fought a lot of uphill battles. And we're really proud of the 3 games prior coming out of break and the work we put in during the break. And so I think sometimes, there are nights like this where like that extra oomph, it's like harder to find. And I think it's on us, especially me, as I'm trying to, figure myself out. How many? 18 minutes, y'all. That's right at the limit, 20, which is nice. Like to me, that's a milestone. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. So yeah, like, just as a unit, bringing energy and bringing that experience and that optimism, because we know our starters are giving their all consistently. So just having their back in nights like this.
All right, thanks everyone.
Thanks, y'all.